talking to Keeble Drummond from The Cable. He will check in at some point. Richard Daly from out of Third World should be checking in at some point. And Tinga Singer Stewart inside of Jamaica she'll be checking in at some point. So all of that and much more happening right here on 103.7 FM, 99.5 HD2. And I see my brother from another mother over there. He's all busy getting things set up. Setting things up, my brother Inspirational Henry. And I'm red, gold, and green. I thought boy Rasta. Hey man, get ahead. So let me say happy Thanksgiving to you, brother. Let me take a moment to say happy Thanksgiving to my brother from another mother, brother Inspirational Henry. And we're live on Real Blessings TV. Just
good morning, my brother. Good morning, Palm Beach. Good morning, world. I want to say good morning to each and everyone. New York City, Connecticut, New Jersey, wherever you are.
The virgin with that distinct voice, that's you, man.
Yeah, you know.
You have that imitating voice. That how would you say? You have that commanding voice. You know, make people free there.
No, not to fear, but be confident. You know, you have to be confident.
You always find the right words, man.
Yeah, you got to be positive.
Well, with everything that you do is there. If we're talking off air, you always do the right words, man.
Yeah, you got to be positive.
Man, your mom would have been proud of you today, son.
And she is proud of me because she's still watching, you know. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to play some songs just dedicating it to her. Her not being here physically with us, but spiritually she's here with the entire family. So I'm definitely gonna play some songs reaching out to those that lost their mom as well, or their fathers, or a loved one, just in general. I'm gonna play some songs though. I'm definitely gonna dedicate a segment for mom.
Indeed,
I just need that, you know.
Indeed, my brother. It's Thanksgiving Day. And I personally don't follow the tradition of
I was just gonna say that it's a day of giving thanks, and that's every day. You know, I am just happy that at least people take the time out, if it's even one day out of the year, to just give thanks and acknowledge that there are things to be thankful for. But I give thanks every single day, every day.
Well, what I like about the Thanksgiving is that people actually come together. You might not have seen, you probably haven't seen friends or family for quite a while, and they actually, for that day, come together and spend some quality time. And you know, for that speaks volume. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Again, it's a day where you share time with your loved one. People that you may not have seen for days or for months or for years. It's a time where you just dedicate to them to just give thanks and be joyful and eat and be merry, and then tomorrow you complain and say, boy, you eat too much. You know, but it's life. We have one life to live, and we just got to live it the best of our ability today.
Indeed. Today is a very special show today. Very exclusive show today. We'll be talking about the music biz from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And it seems as if this is it's always been a topic that I realized that whether you read the newspapers or listen to radio, it's always the topic of the music business. Today we got some distinct, knowledgeable people in the business who will share some thoughts and some ideas and things of that nature, you know. And we are live, by the way. We're live on YouTube, right? Tell us about Real Blessings Television.
Yeah, so Real Blessings Entertainment is a new company that just is merging, and they already got up a Real Blessings TV on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch.
See, brother Inspirational Henry
and Captain Kirk and the entire team, you know. So it's a good thing. It's a good look. It's SUPA JAMZ, and we're live in the building. So we're just gonna continue to make things great, you know.
Make it entertainment great again.
No, I don't like the again after great, because then people affiliate it with with somebody who I don't want to be affiliated with. But we just want to make entertainment great and to the best of our ability.
Indeed.
And with all the help that we can get, we would definitely absorb that help. You know, because no man is an island, no man stands alone.
I like your shirt, my brother. I like the
yeah, that vibe that we feel today, you know? Yeah, that vibe I felt
and
today.
it matches the hat.
Yeah, everything off his out certain way, you know? All the socks, you see the socks. Yeah, but if you're just tuning in, please go to Real Blessings TV and subscribe. Real Blessings, that's with a S. Real Blessings TV and subscribe. It's gonna be a wonderful show here at Super JAMZ, and you can also listen to us on supajamz.com, SUPAJAMZ.com. So there's so many ways you can get us. Supajamz.com, Real Blessings TV. There's so many ways you can't miss. Can't miss it. Palm Beach, everything is up.
27 minutes after 12 o'clock, 12:27. Again, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. And you're in for a fun-filled day today. All right, so while you're home kicking back, making preparations, turn up the music. You can disturb the neighbors today. It's all cool.
Yeah, they'll understand. They'll understand because they're going to disturb you too. You know? Mr. Blair, good morning, sir. Good morning. I see you on the YouTube channel. You're on your way.
Man. Right, so you can already see who is on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as they log in.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see who's on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Technology. It is 28 minutes of the new time.
The earth was my bed and the sky was my roof. Yes, I rise up from the concrete. Man was searching to find his bread. Yeah, oh yeah. And even though it seems hard, I'm gonna hold up my head. Oh now. And even though it seems hard, I'm gonna hold up my head. And if I'm in a want, you don't know. If I'm in a need, you don't know. My necessities, no cash flow. Hey, where's my next meal coming from? You don't know. Jamaica way. In desolate places we will find our bread. Be not dismayed. It's that powers that guide I from ancient of old. I rise, yeah. I rose up from the concrete. Oh now, cause the earth was my bed and the sky was my roof. Hey, trouble up, rise up from the concrete, Lord, searching to find my bread. Oh now, cause what? You see my smiling face and you think all is great. But if you knew the other half, then brethren, you would laugh. Man rise, man rose up from the concrete. Oh now, cause the earth was my bed and the sky was the roof. Hey, but the man rise from that concrete. Man was searching to find his word. Oh now, and even though it seems odd, I'm gonna hold up my head. I'm telling you this now, even though it seems odd, I'm gonna hold up my head. This time in Irish was my bed, and just sky was the roof. Lord, I'm on rise up from the concrete. Man was searching to find his bread. Oh now, but even though it seems hard, I'm gonna hold up my head. Oh, you see my smiling face, so you think all is great. But friend, if you knew the other half, then you would laugh. Man rise up from the concrete. Oh now, Lord, the earth was my bed, and the sky was my roof. I'm on rise from the concrete. Man was searching to find his bread. Oh now, and even though it's so hard, I'm gonna hold up my head. Hey, I say, well, even though it seems hard, I'm gonna hold up my head. What's more, if I'm in a want, you don't know. And if I'm in a need, you won't know. My necessities, no cash flow. Hey, where is my next meal coming from? You won't know. Jamaica way. In desolate places, but you're finding bread. Be not dismayed. It is that powers that guide man from ancient of old. Man rise.
While I'm living, thanks I'll be giving. The most I know. I'm a living while I'm living, to the Father I will pray. Only Him know how we get through every day. Only I give the price, I'm a live we have to pay. While our leaders play, all I see, people are rip and a rob, all are grime. Thief never love is the thief with long bag. No love for the people who are suffering bad. Another toll to the poor, may God help the soul. What is to stop the youth from get out of control? Full of my education, yet no own a payroll. The clothes from me back of countless I owe. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. I'm a living while I'm living, to the Father I will pray. Only Him know how we get through every day. With only I give the price, I'm a leg we have to pay. While our leaders play, we say who can afford to run will run. But what about those who can't? They will have to stay. Opportunity a scarce commodity. In this time I say, when mama spend her last, I send you the class. Never you ever play. It's a competitive world for low budget people, spending the time while earning a nickel, with no regard to who it may tickle. My cup is full to the brim. I could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Though this life equals me down, don't give up now, got to survive. Some way, somehow. I could go on and on, the fool has never been told. I'm a living while I'm living, to the Father I will pray. Only Him know how we get through every day. With only I in the price, I'm a leg we have to pay. While our leaders play, all I see, people are rip and a rob, all are grime. Thief never love is the thief with long bag. No love for the people who are suffering real bad. Another toll to the poor, may God help his soul. What is to stop the youth and get out of control? Full up of education, yet no own a payroll. The clothes by your back of countless I own. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. I'm a living while I'm living, to the Father I will pray. Only Him know how we get through every day. Only I give the price. Some a leg we have to pay. Why?
The Gargamel.
Just play. Me say who can afford?
Mark Myrie.
And will run. But what about those who can't? Here we'll have to stay. Opportunity and scarce commodity. In this time I say, when mama spend her last and send you go class, never you ever play. It's a competitive world full of budget people, spending their time while earning a nickel, with no regard for who it may tickle. My cup is full to the brim. I could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been. I know that the sun will come out tomorrow. Bring me up.
Time on the Super Jams clock it is 22 minutes away from 1 o'clock. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Be optimistic, I believe in
103.7 FM, 99.5 HD2. Super Jams Radio.
take
Real Blessings TV. Log on. See what's going on up inside the studio.
for a price, yeah. For a price,
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
for a price.
To the captain and brother Inspirational One.
And I say, I know that the sun will come out tomorrow. Bring me only joy, no more sorrow. Call me optimistic, I believe in life, yeah. All is ever taking for a price. In this magic city, magic lights, magic moments, magical heights. Oh, magic city, magic lights, magic moments, magical heights. I say,
Here's as much about concern. Daddy won't be coming home tonight. The word on the block is your children can't
I
take
know that the sun will come out tomorrow. Bring me only joy, don't bring no sorrow.
Who's gonna bring the captain some turkey today?
Call me optimistic, I believe.
I only like turkey breast. Super Jams on this here Thanksgiving Day, 103.7 FM, 99.5 HD2. Good afternoon.
Price, yeah.
You know, we'll be talking about the music business.
For a price,
Coming in studio, DJ Toots,
for a
Playmates.
good Lord.
Good morning to Port St. Lucie.
I know that the sun will come out tomorrow. Bring me only joy, no more sorrow. Call me optimistic, I believe in life, yeah. All is ever taking for a price. In this magic city, magic lights, magic moments, magical heights. Oh, magic city,
subscribe to the YouTube channel,
Mystic man.
Real Blessings TV.
Yeah.
See what's going on today inside the studio.
All is there for the take.
This here Thursday, Thanksgiving Day.
Rise. Children, you're in the magic city. Magic.
The Gargamel,
Magic Mo.
Mark Myrie, aka Bridget Button.
Oh, magic city. Magic
Good afternoon to the crew, Loxa Hatcher,
moments. Magical heights.
Everton and the crew. Rootsy, aka Rasta. Happy holidays, family.
Oh, magic city.
To
Magic,
the Campbell's family.
magic moments. I tell you once more. World of mystic is all around. You enjoy the sights and the sound. So I don't wanna be down. This is where I can be found. Now the world of mystic is all around. Enjoy the sights and the sound. So I don't wanna be down. That's where I can. City lights, moments, magical heights. Oh, magic city, magic lights, magic moments, magical heights. Yeah, magic Lord, magic light, Lord, magical moments, magical heights, magic magic lights. Oh, beautiful you are, beautiful you are. Oh, magic city, my way you should show us a feeling. Show us a little love, moments, bless us. Let her go. Moments, let me take you to some place. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Country for sale, apply within. Now Google tell me what I want. I hear them sell off everything. Name your price if the bargain is right. Ooh, yeah, with the right connections, you can have anything that you like. Ooh, yeah, alright then. You can have anything. Everyone I sell out, sell out. Sell out, sell out. Oh Lord, ooh, yeah. Look how them I sell out, sell out. Sell out, sell out. Oh,
This is Bunch of Banton saying. This is Bunch of Banton saying. This is Bunch of Banton saying. Daddy won't be coming home tonight. The word on the block is you're true to Captain Kirk.
ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Country for sale, apply within. Now Google tell me what I want. I hear them sell off everything. Name your price if the bargain is right. Ooh, yeah, with the right connections, you can have anything that you like. Ooh, yeah, alright then. You can have anything. Everyone I sell out, sell out. Sell out, sell out. Oh Lord, ooh, yeah. Look how them I sell out, sell out. Sell out, sell out. Oh, oh, oh.
I can see a lot of people logging on to Real Blessings TV.
Ooh, yeah.
I can see you logging on.
Donald song star, save on.
Commit this number to your memory, 561-449-8000.
Oh, now
The hotline to your radio.
you may think it's a joke. I
An exclusive show today.
They be making promises,
Gonna
but
go down in the music history.
stop.
My man Playmate will step in the building momentarily.
Right connection.
Who to talk about the business? I firmly believe that he's probably only David Rodigan.
Ooh, yeah.
Know the history more than Playmate.
Alright then. You can.
And Playmate pops over
Everyone I say.
Bob Clark.
Hello.
But all that much more happening right here in Super Giants 103.7 FM on this here Thursday, Thanksgiving Day.
Hello. Oh, oh, oh. Hey. Turn your backs on your neighbor in moments of need. Lord, you put your personal favor and your economic greed. nation that you have pledged to serve and uphold. Cause they don't have to answer. They're the ones who wrote the laws. Misappropriation of public funds for your fancy house and cars. Lavish trips you take, white taxpayers' backs you break. Oh, the price we pay to live. This is economic sacrilege. Country for sale, apply within. Now, Barney, tell me what I want. How you make them sell off everything? Name your price if the bargain is right. Oh yeah, with the right connections. You can have anything that you like. Oh yeah, what did I say? You can have anything if you wanna sell out, sell out. Sell out, sell out. Oh child, look there, look how they must sell out, sell out. Sell out, sell out. Oh child, I'll make you sell out, sell out. Sell out. I would like to know, why you sold out to a beautiful Jamaica now? Country for sale, apply within. Now could they tell me what I want? How to make them sell off everything?
Let's lift up our voices and sing. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because it's given. Jesus Christ is Son. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because it's given. Jesus Christ is one and only Son. And now let the weak say that I am strong. Let the poor say that I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. And now let the weak say that I am strong. Let the poor say that I am rich because of what the Lord has done for all of us. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because it's given. Jesus Christ is Son. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because it's given. The Lord Jesus Christ is Son. And now let the weak say that I am strong. Let the poor say that I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. And now let the weak say that I am strong. Let the poor say I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks is given. Jesus Christ is some. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because it's given. Lord Jesus Christ is some. I beg you, give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks.
Radio.
Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Give thanks and praises so high. He will not deceive us, my brethren. He will only lead us. Oh, take that veil from off of your eyes. Look into the future of real life. Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And then Ham is known to be the prophet. Glory to Jah, the prophet is come. Glory to Jah, the prophet has come. When my soul was hurted deep within, and I'm worrying to be free, desperately, yeah. So guide and protect I and I, oh Jaja, through all these ages. Guide and protect I and I, oh Jaja.
Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Thanks for starting your day in the jams.
Rastafari is his name.
New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Thanks for starting your day in the jams. 103.7 FM.
Rastafari is his name.
To the crew in Greater Portmore, JA.
If Jah didn't love
Talking about Monica Woods. Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. I'm from the Middlesex part of Jamaica.
if I didn't love I would
Good afternoon. Again, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
today.
Thanks for logging on to the most listened to Caribbean station here in the South. The hottest 3-hour show on radio.
To say
From now on to 3 o'clock, this is where we double your pleasure and triple your fun.
thanks and praise.
Brother Inspirational Henry. Doing the honors. There's a brother you will see on the 6th of December. Friday with elegance. Early juggling. My brother from another mother, I'm telling you, man, yo. I say I go vibe a thing with it, and you got talent, man.
Yeah, well, you know what's that? We got the talent and God give it to us. So
You know when we were doing that live broadcast over at Caribbean Choice, right?
yeah,
And you decide, so well, yeah, we'll go behind me like, I'm come really looking for you because
yeah, man, how you man?
multi-talented, my brother.
Yeah, God give it to us, so we just want to express it and
For real.
let's work with it. You know?
So again, if you're just locking in, welcome to Super JAMZ Radio, and this here Thursday is this special edition of the Captain Kirk Show today, brought to you compliments of Real Blessings Entertainment, and then today on this here Thanksgiving Day, it's a while at home preparing to hang out with your friends and families and neighbors, and somebody burning the grill right now or stuffing the turkey or something. You eat turkey, boss?
Not really. I don't really go out of my way for it. You know, when it's like it's stewed on with some butter bean and stuff like that. Yeah, but not like when you roast it and just pull it out.
So the old traditional way with the...
Nah.
You know, really keep it the old traditional way.
Mm,
But which
not
part
really.
of the turkey that you like, though?
Like the leg. I like the leg, and I love the breast. Yeah, you know.
So you specialize in the section of the turkey.
Yeah.
So you like both?
When we eat it, yeah.
Do you prefer one over the other?
Yeah, probably the leg. I like the leg.
So you like the leg of the turkey. All right. I hear me, brother.
We're here to give thanks today, so we'll play some songs to just energize us.
I just said Playmate step in the building just now.
Yeah, man, Playmate is here.
Watch you, brother.
Yeah, man.
All right, sir, brother, Inspirational Henry.
Continue to give him thanks.
Great God Almighty, I want to thank you so much for all that you've done for me. My blessings are untold.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father.
God, I thank you for the wonderful gift of life. Yes, I thank you, Lord, for making all things right.
Super Jams Radio.
And I thank you for these blessings I behold in my sight. And I thank you for all things so good and bright. Father, thank you for the morning when I wake. And I thank you, Lord, for every breath I take. And Lord, I want to thank you for everything you do. Yes, your works upon creation are so true. I want to thank you, Lord, from the depth of my heart. I want to thank you, John. I thank you, John, that you ever thought of me. Yes, I thank you, Lord, from the depth of my heart. I want to thank you, John. I thank you, John, for all that you have done for me. Yes, I thank you for my friends and family. And I pray that you will bless my enemy. And I thank you for this song and all its melody. And I thank you for true love.
Going to take a break in just a few. We'll be right back.
Yes, I want to thank you, Lord, from the depth of my heart. I want to thank you, John. I thank you, John, that you ever thought of me. Yes, I thank you, Lord, from the depth of my heart. I want to thank you, John. I thank you, John, for all that you have done for me. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Father.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Father God.
Thank you, Father.
God, I thank you for the rivers as they run. And I thank you for the meadows in the sun. And Lord, I want to thank you for the blessings as they come. And I praise you with these words from my tongue.
Oh, great God Almighty, I want to thank you so much for all that you've done for me.
Thank you, Father.
My blessings are untold.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father.
God, I thank you for the wonderful gift of life. Yes, I thank you, Lord, for making all things right. And I thank you for these blessings I behold in my sight. And I thank you for all things so good and bright. Father, thank you for the morning when I wake. And I thank you, Lord, for every breath I take. And Lord, I want to thank you for everything you do. Yes, your works upon creation are so true. I want to thank you, Lord, from the depth of my heart. I want to thank you, John. I thank you, John, that you ever thought of me. Yes, I thank you, Lord, from the depth of my heart. I want to thank you, John. I thank you, John, for all that you have done for me. Yes, I thank you for my friends and family. And I pray that you will bless my enemy. And I thank you for this song and all its melody. And I thank you for true love and harmony. Yes, I want to thank you, Lord, from the depth of my heart. I want to thank you, John. I thank you, John, that
that you ever thought of me. Yes, I thank you, Lord, from the depth of my heart. I wanna thank you, Jah. I thank you, Jah, for all that you have done for me. Thank you, Jah. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Father God. God, I thank you for the rivers as they run. And I thank you for the meadows in the sun. And Lord, I want to thank you for the blessings as they come. And I praise you with these words from my tongue.
But hear me now. So we give thanks. I understand, I count the blessings. Hear me now. The Father bless me and them always a guide. Oh yes, the Lord will provide. I hear me now. Hey, follow me now. Me have to give thanks to me one dumpling in my plate, cause one better than none. And me give thanks to me bed but upon the block, cause at least me not sleep and groan. And me give thanks to me roof over me head. It's a leak but it still a shade me from the sun. And give thanks to better, give thanks to your life, cause you never know when it rain down. Hear me know. The Father bless me and yes we grateful. We give thanks all the while only when we playful. You better say your prayer when you see the thing a graceful. Give thanks to the one thing until you get a graceful, yes. And when we see the children so playful, it remind us that we life not to be so stressful. We stay faithful, even when things get dreadful. God the Father still like give me wings like a red bull. So hear me, give thanks to me dumpling in my plate, cause one better than none. And me give thanks to me bed for the on the block, cause at least me not sleep on the ground. And me give thanks to me roof over me head. It's a leak but it still a shade me from the sun. And give thanks to better, give thanks to your life, cause you never know when it rain down. One me say remember to show gratitude, stop the ungrateful attitude. Say your grace, stop in the face, a mind just take back the phone. No matter when we pocket flat like lines of latitude, we still a whole of Bible, yes we still just in a happy mood. Cause no matter how you feel, you could believe you're going through the worst ordeal. Like the man who want to kill himself cause a banana was him last meal. And when him fling it where him see a man and yam the bill. So you give thanks for the dumpling in all your plate bowl, cause one better than none. And me give thanks to the bed for the on the block, cause at least me not sleep on the ground. And me give thanks to the roof over me head. It's a leak but it still a shade me from the sun. And give thanks to better, give thanks to the life, because you never know when it's rain down. Cause what me say, give thanks to me dumpling in my plate, one better than none. And me give thanks to me bed upon the block, cause me not sleep on the ground. What me say, next time before you holler, give thanks to your 5 cents even if you don't have a dollar. I want myself the next time for your lament and I complain about your rent, just give thanks that you live in apartments, yes. And next time before you ball and I complain about how much your paycheck small, just remember say no people unemployed, so they will be more annoyed, cause them not done at all. So what me say, give thanks to the dumpling on your plate, that one better than none. I'm gonna give thanks to the bed upon the block.
SUPA JAMZ Radio. JAMZ Radio. Super JAMZ Radio. JAMZ Radio.
You see, I just want to take some time right now to say thank you, my Lord, for each and every little thing. Yeah. When I remember just where I'm coming from, where I'm standing now, I fell to my knees in praise of your name, thanking you, Lord, every step of the way. Oh, Father, you know I love you. You touch my heart, my soul with your mercy. I thank you, my Lord, for all you've done for me. You bless my life in so many ways. No, I will never ever leave you out. I won't be unfaithful to you, my Lord. I know that this world is all in your hands. We are your children, and so I praise your name. Oh, Jesus, you know I love you. You touch my heart, my soul with your mercy. I thank you, my Lord. You've done for me. You touch my life in so many ways. Oh, Jesus, you know I love you. You touch my heart, my soul with your mercy. I thank you, my Lord. You've done for me. You bless my life in so many
Time on the Super JAMZ clock, it is approximately 14 minutes after 1 o'clock, 1:14. I've got the one, the big man playmate in the building. Juggling by the one and only inspirational brother Henry. If you're just logging on, man, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. And you can also log on to the YouTube channel and check us out live in studios at Real Blessings TV. It's a big RBE. Click on that and you'll see what's going on inside studios. Everybody at top, brother inspiration shirt. Shirt mod, said Lord. Log on to Real Blessings TV, the RBE. And see the man who behind the scenes here on a Sunday evening. Play Major in the building. Talking about the music biz momentarily.
Thank you, Lord, for what you've done for me.
JAMZ Radio. JAMZ Radio.
Imagine living in a world where there is no war, no, And imagine.
Now this is Leroy Epton Sibless. And Brother Henry, we love that one there. Lift it up and mash it again. Drop it again. Oh, Chris.
Imagine living in a world where there is no war, no, no, no. And imagine that everyone you see knows what we are living for. Oh, what a wonderful world it would be, a world of love and peace. Where no evil can abide, only righteousness increase. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we can do it if we only believe. Yes, we can do it if we only agree. It's your world and mine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your world and mine. Imagine that everyone could give as much as they like to get. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And imagine if everyone could learn to show each other respect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, what a wonderful world it would be for you and me. The blind could see, and the deaf man could hear. Boy, oh yeah. Yes, we can do it if we only believe. We can do it if we only agree. It's your world and mine. Yeah. Your world and mine. Yeah. Imagine that everyone could love the Most High as your Savior. And imagine if everyone could reverence the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Yeah, yeah. Oh, what a holy world it would be, a world of tranquility. Yeah, yeah. Yes, what a beautiful world it would be, a world of serenity.
The Messenger. Luciano.
Yes, we can do it if we only believe. We can do it if we only agree. It's your world and mine. Your world and mine. Your world and mine. Stop for a while and look for a minute. Maybe you'll see there is something to be done and we just got to do it in urgency. There is no love, no love and no heart. So mankind is drifting apart. There's no love. progress, we need the rest. Let's not together, we should work as one. Fulfill Angels' plan. The city's expected of everyone to refrain from doing the wrong and show some love, 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 love. Some love in the world. Some love, 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 love. Some love from your heart. Show some love, 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 love. Some love in the world. Give some love, 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 love. Some love from your heart. Oh, well, oh, well. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, oh, well. Some
Luciano. Hey, Henry. You remember when Luciano first started out and they say he went up into the hills? You remember?
Yeah, way back.
No, seriously, they say he went up in the hills for like a month or something like that.
Yeah, go get some bingy blessings, you know?
You remember that play, man?
So I heard that. I don't know if there's any truth to that.
That was back when when he first came out with that song, One Way Ticket, if I remember. I was living in New York at the time. And Ken Williams used to play his song, and he came out on the scene and they said, he disappeared up in the hills. Man.
I know. I first met him at Record Factory Studios on Hagley Park Road.
Okay.
Matter of fact, and that was when he came out with his first song, Lord Give Me Strength. That was a song that really put him on the map, I should say, you know. And
Very humble virgin.
oh God,
Very humble virgin.
I can testify to that.
Yes.
The most humblest
Yeah.
artist of all artists that I have ever met, Jamaican artists.
Is it still flipping, backflip and
Yes.
cartwheel and all that?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
On stage.
Luciano has that kick when he brings his foot all the way up to the height of his chest in midair.
Yeah, I've seen him go actually on top of a stage. You know, when you have like the to prevent rain from wetting you, you climb up the bars and go on top of the stage.
Yeah, he's noted for all that kind of antics.
I see the man run one, then flip. And then cartwheel, I'm like, when am I going to flip off a stage? You know? I mean, just like a wheel, man. You know?
Honestly, I was kind of worried for him at one time when I see him doing this jump with his foot all the way up there. I'm like, is this brother going to fall or something?
He thinks I'm still young.
You know who do that? Still today, Stitcher.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. You ever seen him perform?
No, I've never seen
Yo,
him.
that man, talk about the energy. You think Henry have energy yet? Man, you see Stitcher perform.
Henry.
Energy.
Yo. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Super JAMZ Radio 103.7 FM, 99.5 HD2 on this here Thursday. It is Thanksgiving Day. And from my family to yours, happy Thanksgiving for all the folks in town. A lot of people in town, you know, Brother Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in town for the driving by the airport yesterday, and the traffic, man, it was, the traffic was crazy. Yeah. We're live on YouTube channel. It's Real Blessings TV.
Real Blessings TV.
Yeah, and all you got to do is just pop in Real Blessings with an S and click on the big RBE, and you can see Brother Inspirational Henry.
No, you see, Captain.
I want to say, I'm going to send some shot.
The great Brother Henry. The great Brother Inspirational Henry.
The great, yeah. And of course,
great Playmate.
Yeah, the great Playmate. Now we have to give Playmate a proper introduction. Yeah. You can't just say Playmate, so. You know what I mean?
Great Playmate.
The great Playmate. The funny thing is, it was when we were doing that broadcast a couple of Saturdays ago.
Yeah, Don
and
Choice.
the kids, we've never met officially. I mean,
Right.
the Virgin, I talked some history. We're like, yo, look on to the brother and lock on to him because you know some history. I talk some things, some history. I'm like, whoa, man. Then I listened to his radio show. Like, whoa. It was second
And you
to
get
none.
hooked.
Yeah, man. A very, very good show, sir. Very good show.
Yeah, I think that's part of the missing link. People in Jamaica need to know about Jamaican music, the history of Jamaican music. Because you know what? If you go to Europe, Asia, as far as the Philippines, Brazil, people know the history of Jamaican music more than Jamaicans do.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
But as is mentioned that David Radigan.
All right.
Boy, I tell her that man will give you from the pen go to the paper.
Isn't that a shame?
For real.
Here's a story I tell people on my show a couple of times. I met a guy in this was in East Berlin in Germany. I was playing at a gig, right? And this dude came, a tall, blue-eyed guy, and he was looking at me, and every song that I played, the guy would tell me who did this song, the title of the song, what label it was released on, how many times it was released. And honestly, some of them I wasn't even sure. But being a Jamaican, are you supposed to know? I just say, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, after a while, I got tired of the guy, and I said, man, where you from? Blue Eyes. Guy's from the Ukraine.
Oh.
Okay? And he knows Jamaican music.
More
the
than a lot
roots
of us.
Jamaican music than the average Jamaican.
But right now you have so many groups right now, especially in Japan, that are playing reggae music that you wouldn't even imagine.
Even the sound systems.
Yeah.
A friend of mine sent me a clip with some guys in Spain playing rock steady. Real steady rhythm, just like our
Drum and
rhythm.
bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, Richard Stephens now, as we speak, have a 9-piece Italian band that he toured. And as you mentioned ska, if you hear them play ska, you couldn't tell the difference between a Jamaican band and this 9-piece Italian band. Amazing.
It's a shame.
It's
And
amazing.
it's over 700 ska bands all over the world. And ska was originated in Jamaica. It is our music. And how many ska bands are there in Jamaica today? Not even one.
Oh.
The only band that can play a little ska sometime is Lloyd Parks. And Lloyd, last time I saw Lloyd at the Jazz and Blues Festival, guy is getting old now, so getting a little bit slow. He's still doing his thing, but you know what I mean? What's gonna happen after he's gone? Ska will be dead.
You know, while we are talking, and today we're gonna be talking about the music of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I'm seeing different stories of the name reggae. How did the name reggae? How did it? Because at one point it was spelled REGE. So who started reggae, my brother? Who came up with the name reggae? And when did this flip to REGGAE?
Well, I don't know about the spelling, but as far as I know, there's no clear evidence who really started it. Because if you talk Lloyd Brevet, that was a bass player in the Scatlights band. Lloyd Brevet says the first reggae song was Rockfort Rock, right? And that wasn't even Scatlights, that was Sound Dimension. All right. If you talk to some other people, they'll tell you that Bangarang, done by Stranger Cole. Woman, oh, Bangarang. That was the first reggae song. Same thing with ska. Who developed ska? Who came about with ska? Some people say they used to have the slang about Skavovi on the road that was from Clue Jays and the Blues Blasters. Right?
Well, I was reading a little history that said reggae direct origin are in the ska and the rock steady of back in the 60s. I think they're Toots and the Maytals. They were talking about.
And Toots did do the reggae.
Yeah.
That was about the time reggae started to get into thing. It was a different beat.
Well, before that, before the reggae,
Was Rocksteady.
How about the Mento?
The Mento was the first.
Mento was the first.
Was the first known music form coming out of Jamaica. We had 5 known music form, recognized music forms coming out of Jamaica, and it's Mento. And then after the Mento was what they call Blue Beat. Blue Beat was a kind of a blend with the ska, with the Mento and the rhythm and blues, old American blues. So they have Mento, Blue Beat, then the ska, Rocksteady, then reggae. Reggae is the last known music form in Jamaica. What they have now, I do not know what they call it.
Wow. Wow.
So the mentor who was there a household mentor?
Mentor really came from slavery. After slavery, it's like the blues in American blues. It came from people singing about their sorrows and all that when they remember back where they were coming from, and it was, singing these songs to take them out of their misery. And the same thing transpired down to us, because remember we had slaves in Jamaica too. It was after slavery, after the universal adult suffrage, where we were allowed to vote in 1944, and the mentor came about. They started with trench songs, actually digging trenches. Like woman a heavy load and that's when the pickaxe hit the ground.
Yeah.
Right? So
Kumina
came in the same time. Kumina, some people say revival, and then they have Dinky Mini, you have quadrille.
Yeah, near the boss, Dinky Mini, yeah.
All of that, where we used to dance. I remember as a kid in school, we had what they call a maypole. That was a pole they plant and a lot of ribbons coming off it, and you'd hold one ribbon and dance until they plait the ribbon around the pole. And then they would play quadrille songs.
So that would have been in the Kumina years.
Yeah.
So we go from mentor to Kumina to Skia.
Mentor to Blue Beat.
Blue Beat. And then
it was longer than the Skia.
Then Skia became popular.
Yeah.
Reggae music, would you agree that Chris Blackwell is responsible for taking reggae internationally?
Yes. You have to give Chris his props. He really did a lot. He really did what a Jamaican should have done.
I heard Bob say that in an interview with Neville.
Yes.
Johnny Nash and
yeah.
Chris Blackwell.
It was after Bob Marley did a song actually called Rock Sweet Rock, the coolest rocker in town. And after they heard that, it was like an American doo-wop. And people said, really, a group in Jamaica singing like this, harmonizing like this. And that was caused Bob, what's his name, Johnny Nash, came and started recording in Jamaica. And he hooked up with Bob at one time.
Yeah. That's when.
When he did our guava jelly, Bob wrote that song.
Well, I never know that. You knew that?
No, I didn't know that one.
Well,
you're speaking.
You
speak to play me at so there's a lot of things that he's gonna say that you're gonna say. I didn't know
the
that.
history of the music, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, man. The Chris Blackwell, he did a lot.
He is good. He did a lot.
Matter of fact, he formed Island Record from the story that I read, May 22nd, 1959. Right when he was age 22 years old, when he was 22 years old.
Chris Blackwell grew up in Jamaica. Part of his childhood life was in Jamaica.
Gave Bob Marley a lot of fame.
Yeah, and Millie Small too.
And who else? Jimmy Cliff. I think he got involved in the movie. How did they come?
Yeah.
They come.
And Chris Blackwell is also a movie producer too. He did a couple of movies. As a matter of fact, Jimmy Cliff was the one who brought Bob Marley to Leslie Kong when he did his first song.
Oh, really? Yeah.
When he did Judge Not.
One Cup of Coffee.
One Cup of Coffee was the flip side, it was the B-side of the record. It was 1962.
Bob did that tune. I remember when back in the day. And before Clint O'Neill, the late Clint O'Neill died, he had a 7-inch with White Christmas. I've never heard that song before.
I'll show it to you one
White
day.
Christmas.
If you had told me I had brought the record, like you see it was on a silver and blue.
Right.
Supreme.
I
have the record.
But the story that I heard is that it wasn't. Was it released or it wasn't?
It was released.
On the album.
It was released.
But I heard Coxon wanted that, and he searched his whole studio, try to find that 7-inch. Because they wanted to put it out on CD, from what I heard.
There are a couple of songs that Coxon did that he didn't. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you something now. I never thought this on the radio before. I was in the studio with Sir Coxon, King Stitch, and Kingsley Goodison. Kingsley Goodison is still alive. He could probably tell you about it. And matter of fact, he was telling Sir Coxon the day we were in there, and he says, Sir Dan, pointing to me, say, him is the man who have all this cat. So Coxon gave me a list of songs that he wanted.
Mhm.
And he says, can you imagine, I never know this day would come. He said, these are my records. And I can't even find the tapes or the stamp for them. And he wanted to make an album.
Mhm.
So he gave me the list of songs. I had the records, but I didn't do it.
You still have them today?
Oh, yeah.
7-inch. Leslie Kong. He died back in 1971.
He was a great, great producer, you know.
Jamaica had some top producers. You know?
Yes, man.
Jamaica had some top
Leslie
producers.
Kong
We had
from Beverly's. You have this Yap from Top Deck. That's my good friend Ras Benjamin used to be with them. Top Deck. You have another Chinese man who is very instrumental, who was very instrumental in the first part of Jamaican music. And I talked about him last week. One named Ivan Chin. That was the man who was responsible for all the Mentor records. Chin's Calypso Sextet, his band. When he found Alert Bedassi, the man was sing a lot of the Mentor. And when he found Alert Bedassi, then he signed them into a contract because he said, this guy good. And most of the records were put out by Ivan Chin. But they used to go to England. They record them at his studios. The time Chin's radio service was at Church Street, I think it was 44 Church Street, 48 Church Street. And then they moved to Crossroads. For the younger folks, they used to be right across from the Carib Theatre. If you're standing at the Carib Theatre to go in, right immediately
Henry don't know what Carib Theatre thing.
We don't know about Carib Theatre.
I don't know about Carib Theatre.
You know what's there now? Mother's Party. That's where Chin's radio service used to be after they moved from downtown. So that's where they used to do all the recordings. And the records would go to England, to Decca, to remaster and press, and then come back to England on 78 RPM.
We're getting a call from Cable Jones from the Cables. We'll patch him with him momentarily.
Okay.
That's another group we're going to be talking about momentarily. Big producers in Jamaica, some who have passed away, and talk about Sir Coxsone Dodd, Joe Gibbs, Duke Reed, King Tubbies, Prince Buster.
I know all of them.
You just mentioned Leslie Kong, Augustus Pablo Winston Riley, E.T., Errol Thompson,
Yes.
yeah, Harry J., Byron Lee, and
Harry J used to be.
Henry John Laws. He just died recently. Yeah.
I know all of those people.
You know all of those producers?
Yes, sir.
Wow. But Treasure Isle.
Duke Reed at Bond Street.
This is some.
I remember how I get to know Duke Reed as a child, because I grew up, I'm from Olawa Bay. So my parents used to do business in West Kingston, deep sea fishing. And on a holiday, when school is on holidays, I used to go to town with them. And I used to stay with a lady, my mother's friend. She used to buy fish for my parents. A lady named Miss Rookwood. She lived on Bond Street across from where Treasure Isle Studios was, and the liquor store downstairs. You know, so that's how I get to know and saw Duke Reed. You know, he used to have his gun on his hip like a cowboy, and rings on his finger, and, and his felt hat. Yeah.
He produced some big names, though.
Yes, man.
You know,
let me tell you, people used to say at one time, they used to compare the records, the production of the records between Studio One and Treasure Isle, who had the better production and stuff. Honestly, both of them were good, but in all fairness, I think Treasure Isle had a better, more smoother, rhythm-driven kind of arrangement, musical arrangement than everything. A little more cosmetics, I would say, than Studio One. Studio One is more drum and bass. But Treasure Isle records were like little more percussion, little something.
A little more bells and whistles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll just give an example with Willow Tree. Alton Ellis Willow Tree, he did it for Studio One and he did it for Duke Reed. And if you listen to the Duke Reed one, it's a little different, you know, like when it started here.
Yeah, but was Treasure Isle labeled before Coxsone Studio One? Because Coxsone was Studio One.
No, because Duke Reed used to go to Studio One to do his pressing, his recordings. And a matter of fact, after a while, Duke Reed had a radio show. I think it was 15 minutes, Treasure Isle Time, on radio. And the song that he used to use to open his song, you know, everybody has an opening song, was a song, My Mother's Eyes, by Tab Smith. Da, 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 da. And guess what? Who gave him that record? Sir Coxsone's mother.
Wow, really?
Gave Duke Reed the record. I remember Duke, that was Sir Coxsone's rival. Because they were both rivals in the two sound system. Duke Reed the Trojan and Sir Coxsone's downbeat.
Some people say Coxsone was original back in the day. you know who always talk about Coxsone, and he always talk about that for some reason. He must have had a raw deal, because even when he was here a couple weeks ago, Leroy Siblis, he have no reservation talking about Coxsone, man.
It's
But back
true.
in the day,
I think they actually had a lawsuit at one time with Leroy. I'm not sure how that went. But
the late Edward George Siaga was also a producer.
he produced Higgs and Wilson. He always talks about Oh Man You on World Label. That's one of the biggest records he produced. A matter of fact, that's the only record I know he produced. I'm not saying he didn't produce any more records, but
Yeah, but what was his relationship with Byron Lee? And I heard he sold him the band or something, and it was something to that effect. I think he had a band that he sold to Byron, and Byron flipped the name to Byron and the Dragonaires. I can't remember the name of that band that he either he used to manage or he owned that band.
Back in the day, there was so many different bands. You know, Baba Brooks had his own band. You had Blue Jays. You had Aubrey Adams. You had Luther Williams. You had Sonny Bradshaw. You had Bertie King. He used to play at the Carib Theatre. So many different bands.
I was listening to you last week, Sunday, and you mentioned a record label. And how I remember a record label, as a youth, up in the hills of Manchester, a little district I'm come from called Bethany. My grandmother had the old time, the old time
Gramophone.
set where you could,
The one you wind it up.
No, not that one there, but the one you could have,
Stereogram.
you could have
LP.
the LP type, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a stereogram.
Yeah, my grandmother had, and the record, a lot of 7-inch used to have the Beverly record label. It was a black and red.
Black and
a
yellow.
woman had a dance with a woman.
The very first
yeah.
Beverly's records came on black and yellow.
Yeah,
And then after they changed it to black and red.
black and red. Yeah, I'm familiar with. I've seen that.
You hardly can find records these days on the black and yellow. Those are the very early ones.
But they didn't put up much songs though, Beverly, did they?
Yes, man.
Really?
Yes, man. Beverly's produced a lot of artists. Yeah. They did a lot. Trust me, Toots and the Maytals did a lot of songs. Desmond Deck and Ace, as a matter of fact, my very first album I bought as a kid. I walked from Parade up Orange Street to the corner of Orange Street and North Street. That's where Beverly's record store used to be. In the earlier days, it used to be an ice cream parlor.
How much did you pay for a record them time?
Chopans?
No, I think the LP. I think I paid 7 and 6 pence.
7 and 6
Yeah,
pence.
as that was the price also for a pre-release 45. 7 and 6, and then the
What's the
release
equivalent to 7 and 6 pence? No, hypothetically.
would be like 70 cents, 75 cents.
It was a shilling and pence days.
Yeah, shilling and pence, yeah.
Remember back, you probably don't know, you're probably too young, remember the thing. You remember the dude box days?
Oh,
They
yeah,
said,
you-
drop
you-
the money and select the
You
music.
put a shilling,
that.
you drop a shilling in the jukebox to give you 4 songs.
Yeah, I
You
remember
punch
that.
4 songs.
Dude box days.
And
man.
You
actually-
watch it change.
Yeah.
Where Lisa, AMI.
Those days, records used to sell,
Yes.
'Cause when I watch a movie, Rockers, and see Horse Mode, the check
Change the
out.
mood.
Yeah.
Change the mood.
Records used to
I
sell.
said,
and
boy, I gonna give you some records and when you sell these records, you come back and what was that, Joe?
You know, sometimes when they press the records and the records are being sold, that does what determine how like the sales of the record. Then they go back and press some more.
Right.
You know, because it was said that one time when they pressed, I go back to Burial and Pound Get a Blow, 1969. They only pressed like 400 copies of the record. So after that, it was.
That was it.
Yeah.
It was interesting to watch the wax. You know, the
10-inch
press. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just locking, we're talking about the music business from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I got my man Playmate in the building. He's on air for every Sunday from
3 to 6.
from 3 to 6. Very interesting show. And my man brother Inspirational Henry, and we're Saturday morning from 9 until noon. And we're live on Real Blessings TV. So if you're just locking in, get on the YouTube channel and subscribe to Real Blessings TV. That big R&B
RBE.
RBE. Now, let's talk about some of the selectors who have helped to take reggae music. People like Meritone built a big name out of this business.
Oh yeah, Meritone.
And I still believe today his wife, the late Cynthia, one of the greatest female voice ever to come out of Jamaica. I mean, I firmly believe that. I mean, that's what do you think, Henry?
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
That's a fair. That's fair.
I mean, when you listen to this, Cynthia last sing, man, I'm telling you, it's movie. What do you think, Playmate?
Yeah, she was a good balladeer. But I mean, there are so many good ones. It's hard to really.
Who like give me some names. I know Cynthia. You know, I mean,
she had Marcia Griffiths. You had Alton Zellis.
Yeah.
You had, a matter of fact, Alton Zellis. That was Alton Ellis's sister.
Right.
that's all, is it a sister or his daughter?
His sister.
That's his sister. Yeah.
And then when they went on the talent show, Alton Zellis actually beat Alton in the singing.
Really?
Okay. He got Judy. Judy is a good singer. Marcia Griffiths. Those are some good singers.
All right, let's move on to JBC days. RJR days back in Jamaica when they had Mikey Dread was on air, and Mikey Dread became popular by just because they wouldn't put him on the microphone. They would not put Mikey Dread on the microphone, so he would spin tune at nights, and he became popular from jingles. You know,
Dread.
Have you ever met Mikey Dread?
No. I used to listen to him on the radio, but I've never met him.
But those days when RJR and JBC, when artists like Alton Ellis just mentioned, John Holt, D. Brown, Peter Tosh, they must just sell thousands and thousands of records.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
thousands of units. Bonnie Wheeler.
But the thing was, one of the things that held back some of the good artists too was the system they call payola.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still happening today.
It's still happening today. Big
That
time.
payola system, you know, it used to kill a lot of the younger artists trying to make a name for themselves. You know, it was just the big artists. And you go to a DJ, you give him, because when you press records, even in America, I have some records in my collection, they mark for promotional purposes only, not to be
I've
sold.
seen those. Yeah.
Those are what they used to give to the radio stations to play them on air to promote the record. Now, what some of the DJs would do, the disc jocks on the radio, they would say, boy, if you want me to play your song, you have to give me some money. You don't give no money, your song doesn't get played. Nobody know the song. Now, this is where I come in with my show. On my show, what I try to do is to introduce artists to the people, or even artists that they already know, but other songs that they sang, which are equally as nice as the one that they already know. So people wouldn't know those songs were made unless you played for them to listen. But the Piola used to kill a lot of the...
Still going on today.
You know, it's a shame.
Yeah. Some of the groups, Playmate, that have left us, Melodians, I think the only original group left, I think, is the Cables. I know they're not together anymore, but I think that's the only the original. Okay, it's even the Metal, Toots and the Metals. I think they might be they might be still as a group. Maybe they might be doing different things, but as a group, the Cables, I know.
Or the Meditations.
The Meditation, I don't think they're original.
Oh, they're not.
Nah, I'm not. I don't think the original. I think the original group left is out of the Claridonians, the Melodians, the Gay Lads.
That's a good group. Wow. One of my favorites.
I think that we're gonna be talking to Cable Drummond, and he can tell us. Okay, he's doing a solo these days. But one of the rival, Prince Buster, and what's his name, Delroy Morgan, with the tune Blackhead Shining. You know that tune, is it? Blackhead Shining.
Derek Morgan.
Was it Derek Morgan? Yeah.
Derek used to sing for Prince Buster.
Oh yeah.
And then he went to Leslie Kong at Beverly's because the Chinese man would pay more money, right? And that's when Prince Buster. There was actually, it made a big thing because when Derek did Forward March, a lot of people don't know this. I played it on Independence Gone. The very first festival song in Jamaica was Forward March.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the very first festival song, 1962. But Derek was with Buster at the time, and then Derek left and went to Leslie Kong and released the song for Kong on Beverly's label. So when Prince Buster heard the song, the solo in the song was done by Hedley Bennett on the horns. Buster accused Derek of stealing his thing and give it to the Chinese man because...
Oh, so that's how the song came about?
Yeah, he said it was the same solo that he had done for what Lester Sterling did for in They Got to Come.
Yeah.
So that's why I say you don't stole
my belongings and give
to
the Chinese man.
That was it. And it caused a big
God
rift.
in heaven knows.
It caused a big rift. People start fighting over it and all that. But people didn't know that Prince Buster and Derek was still friends. It was just a game thing. You know how it goes, hype.
Yo, who would you say back then, what would you say was the top singers? Let's throw some names at you. We just Delroy Wilson, Alton Ellis, Eric Donaldson, Tinker Stewart. Who would you say back them time?
Let me tell you.
Sagglehead, because Delroy, that man had some wicked. Slim Smith.
I talk all the time, listening to an early Delroy Wilson record is like listening to a Frankie Lyman, American singer in the early days. And I give you a little story again about that. The same day that we were in Studio One, Sir Coxon, and argument came up about Dennis Brown and Delroy, and everybody was talking who is the better singer. And everybody, this is one of the things I don't like in Jamaicans. A lot of us tend to follow what the other one says without having your proof. And everybody's, who was the better singer? And everybody's like, D Brown. D Brown. So when they came to me, I was standing on the steps when you're coming down from upstairs, and I was standing on the steps, and they said, what you say, Playmate? I said, Delroy. Coxon get up from around his desk and came to the stairs and shook my hand. And everybody was start looking around. And I'm like, I'm not saying that Dennis Brown is a very good singer. But Delroy is the better singer. To me, Coxon agree. And then guess what? If you read Dennis Brown biography, he'll tell you that Delroy was his mentor. And Delroy was coming up from the ska, rocksteady, reggae.
So what about Slim Smith?
Oh, Slim Smith was awesome.
How did he die?
Slim Smith, it is said No, we don't know for sure, but it is said that he had a fuss with his girlfriend and she locked him out of the house and he got mad and punched the glass to open the door. And he got cut on his wrist, one of the main veins on his wrist. And then by the time he got to the hospital, he died.
So,
He lost too much
which is the
blood.
artist that choked I Pizza Dumpling? From what I hear. What I hear art, was it, I don't know if it was Delroy or Slim Slim, one of them.
No, sir. Delroy died
Not like
of
that.
cirrhosis at the liver in University Hospital. People say white rum killed Delroy. So people say.
Cirrhosis can cause that.
Yeah, white rum.
Yeah, white rum can cause that, I should say.
An artist I saw sometime last year, and it was kind of disappointing to see him in that state, knowing that his catalog was Eric Montemars.
Oh, I need to see that, brother. Let me tell you about that, brother. That was my idol as a kid. I've never seen him in real life.
Really?
I used to just listen to his records. And the first time I saw him was at the Countryside Club. That was in the early days when Heineken Start Time just started. And if it had cost me $1 million, I would have paid to go and see Monty. And let me tell you, Monty tore it up. He actually flapped Leroy Siblis.
Really?
Yes.
In
Because
catalog too.
they put Leroy to close the show after Monty.
Oh, it's amazing how you remember all these things. I'm sure you can remember the day if it was raining, if it was cloudy,
I'm
if the
telling you,
little lady
man.
was standing outside by the shop. It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Eric Montemars, again, you probably don't know what we talk. We have to bring up, we have to bring Henry up to speed. Him kind of young for them things.
One of the ska icons.
Yeah.
It was Eric Montemars and Derek Morgan.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Derek
over
was
them.
Derek was the one who brought Monty into it. Both of them used to live in the same yard up Orange Lane.
Yeah, I saw him, was it about a year ago, in Miami. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed.
I need to get in touch with
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised. I saw a brother one day in Luke Lane, right behind Manhattan House, where they had the meat market at Luke Lane at the corner in the market there. And the brother was going through the garbage heap where they have the scraps of meat where the butcher would throw it out. And I was talking to the brother. When I realized, you know who it was? Was one of the members of the Folks Brothers who sing "Oh Carolina."
Oh.
Right? And the brothers scrapping meat.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you imagine? Where are they now? And this is one of the things I ask my friends who used to promote the Heineken Start Time. Why do you keep bringing Alton Ellis, John Holt, Ken Booth? People are tired of seeing these people. What about Basil Gabidan? What about Roy Panton, Owen Gray, and other artists? You know?
Somebody just texted me. They're asking me to ask you if you know Patsy that used to sing with Stranger Call.
Yes, sir. I actually know Patsy. Personally, Patsy and I, we used to live in New York. And we used to meet up as a friend of mine who is my godfather in record collecting. The greatest record collector of all times. A man called John Public. His right name is John Bartlett. Used to be a cyclist at the stadium. But John Public, we used to go to his house at Crown and Franklin in Brooklyn. And like 2 o'clock in the morning, Patsy and I, we would walk from there to Church Avenue. Patsy, I think she's allergic to leather too, so she used to wear some thick sweater. And she was collecting records. So Patsy was somebody I know personally.
The founder of the Scatterlights, Tommy McCook, who died back in just recently, 1998. They made quite an impact. The Scatterlights.
Well, you know, it was said, you know, when the Scatterlights formed, they wanted a leader. They wanted, I understand, they wanted to make Lynn Tate from the head band in Lynn Tate and the Jets. They actually wanted Lynn Tate to lead the band, but Lynn Tate, I think he turned it down because he said he wasn't a Jamaican. But Tommy McCook was also not a Jamaican. He was a Jamaican by whatever means, but Tommy McCook was born in Cuba.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ronald Alfonso was born in Cuba.
Wow, man.
Laurie
Interesting.
Lakin, the godfather of ska, was born in Cuba. That's why they call Laurie Lakin Cubana. But
So Lord Brevet, who died in 2012, and Lloyd Nib,
Lloyd Nibs was
Don
the drummer.
Drummond.
Don Drummond's the trombone. And I went to a symposium at the University of the West Indies where they were doing a symposium on Don Drummond's.
What was Sonia Pottinger's?
She was the owner of Tip Top Records. She owned Gay Feet label. She and her husband, Mr. Pottinger, matter of fact, Mr. Pottinger, Sonia Pottinger's husband, was into record producing before Coxsone.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, but then after a while.
Derek Harriott. I still looking, brother still look just the same way as.
Yeah, my very, very, when I tell you, very good friend, Derek.
Yeah,
His
I saw him recently, man.
there.
It might have not changed.
Twin Gates Plaza.
Yeah, still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People always say I look like him.
Slightly, yes, you do. Yeah.
You know, Derek coming from the 50s too, used to lead a group called the Jiving Juniors.
Wow. Derek Harriott. Which was his big tune? Derek Harriott.
Oh, Derek had so much big tunes. One of the big tunes that Derek did was you know, a song that says "Too late, she's gone." What can I do?
Yeah.
The original was Donnie Elbert, but
you know, I met, and even in his last days when he was pretty much ill, Junior Soul. And there was, and I met Scotty before he died. I interviewed Scotty, both of them. And "Penny for Your Song," a very big hit for Junior Soul, was re-recorded by, I think Scotty did that. And I asked, and people thought it was the original writer was Scotty, but I asked Junior Soul, you know, he wrote that song. Yeah. Did you know Junior Soul?
no, I know I met him.
He was a radio personality on Waves Radio in his later days. He died last year. Yeah, big tune. "Penny for Your Song."
This is the thing that I am trying to do. I'm working on a project. I'm trying to find all these artists, recognize them, and go further with it, because there is a group of Europeans, Germans, some young youths in Germany actually form a organization. I think it's called "He Who Feels It Knows It," and they actually did some concerts where they made money, and I think they gave it to Muta Baruka to give it to other artists. Some of the artists that were not recognized who are suffering. And that's a shame.
It's as I mentioned, it's just some of these artists who have planted the seed, man. Back then, where they just disappear, and nobody know about them. You know.
Look at Junior Biles.
Yeah.
Junior Biles was mentally challenged. The last time
Curly Locks, right? It did Curly Locks.
It did Fade Away. One of the biggest songs. The last time I saw what's his name, Junior Biles. I was playing for a party for Cancer, DJ Cancer. His birthday when he had Venus Disco, and he had a bar in Walton Park Road, and I was playing for him at his birthday. And I saw this guy came up to me, heavy beard and mustache, eyes big as this. He says, "Me name Junior Biles, man. Me name Junior Biles, man. Play one of my songs." And I was like,
yeah, that was a big hit.
yeah, Carl Dawkins.
Yeah.
Last time
Junior
I saw
Mervyn.
brother.
These guys, I mean, planted the seed.
Nobody care about these people.
Wow.
And these people
Most of the rhythm tracks them today, them go back and remix the rhythm tracks of yesterday.
all the songs, 90% of the songs that they're doing now is from the older rhythms. That's why I tell them about foundation. You never see a house built, they start building a house from the top. And if you see a tree never grow from the top. It always have to come from somewhere. Go up.
Anti Rhythm is one of the most remixed songs.
All right, look at Heavenless. Right? Entertainment. You know where that rhythm coming from? Right? That was Dan Drummond's rhythm.
So, some of the big producers, like King JAMZ, you know, put in some serious work.
I have a very good friend too.
Yeah.
JAMZ.
Because I don't hear the rhythm today that hold
Because it's computer.
You know what I
no,
mean?
no more live music. It's not just a computer simulation. They just computer making a noise.
Yeah, because matter of fact,
as compared to live music.
yeah. Matter of fact, I've seen. I was hanging out at Downsound Studio, sometime last year, when Joe Danovich bought the studio from Dave Kelly, and I used to go there a lot. And then I used to go downstairs at the studio and watch this engineer with his state-of-the-art equipment, and an artist would go in, and they would record a song, and the engineer would edit. I mean, instead of say cut and rewind again, they would continue on. So they would do one part out 5 times and just keep on singing, and the engineer would edit that into a song, opposing to when I go to a rehearsal with like say Freddie McGregor or Burning Spear, these guys. Them man, like you said, them BSC and
live band, live music,
drum, and them just one take.
Yeah.
Gregory Isaacs, and
That's the thing. But nowadays, it's like DJ nowadays. As long as you own a computer, you're a DJ. You're a selector.
You have a laptop.
You know, once you have a computer, you're a DJ. And certain kind of music, you had to be there. I know about it. Was had to be in your time for you to affect. If you give me what they call dancehall music now, I wouldn't know what to do with it. Ask me about old music. I can tell
Yeah,
you
but
everything.
As they say, stay in your lane.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we understand that times have changed.
Yeah.
Times have changed, and like for instance, we mentioned earlier in the beginning about Mento. I hear my father love Mento. I can listen to it for a minute, but I can't get seasoned into it.
Yeah.
Because it was my era then.
Richie Stevens did a mentor recently named Country Bus.
Yeah, big
Listen
tune,
to that.
big tune, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. But I'm saying so as the music has evolved and moved forward with the younger generation, again, like I said, here today, gone today.
Yeah, gadgets
Yeah,
and
but that's
computers.
that this is what they gravitate to.
And the songs they're making nowadays.
I don't think
is
that's
appalling.
a young selector know about probably who Slim Smith or Jackie Me Too.
I have no idea. They have no idea. I met a young girl one time in St. Thomas, and this was about 1997, somewhere around there. And I was talking to her, and I was talking about ska, and she asked me what name, sir. She's 27. years old.
But listen, it's ironic you mentioned. I've been to they make a street dance in Jamaica, right? And I'm talking up to a year ago. And you'll be surprised to see some of them young youths there. Slick some scat tune and go back in some tune from back in the 60s, 70s, come all the way up.
Let me tell you, some of them will get the songs because how the computer thing work nowadays. I'm playing the song, you will get it, and then we have it and play it, but they don't know the right way how to play the song or what you would do which song had, because certain in those days you play one song, there's another song you have to play with that, or people just wouldn't be comfortable, so to speak. So I use Raytown as an example. A lot of people like to talk about Raytown. Some of the people who talk about that have never even been to Raytown. I've been to Raytown, I've played there. And when you go to Raytown on a given Sunday night, you have young people, middle-aged people, old people, and everybody enjoy it just the same.
Yeah, but you do have some new Sister Marshall Griffiths, the Queen of Reggae. Her latest recordings is a big tune, nice tune. Nice song. But again, these people's coming from, they know the music, they know what it is to produce a song and make it a success. We couldn't be talking about music if we don't mention the one Jimmy Cliff, who's still.
Oh God, that's an icon. Boy.
Yeah, Jimmy Cliff, who have done so many things and received so many awards. Larry Marshall, who passed away
Oh yes.
a few years ago.
Larry did a lot of work.
Yeah. But Jimmy Cliff, recently they renamed the hip strip in Montego Bay to Jimmy Cliff Boulevard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And just got an award recently, I think back in May of this year. He resides in Brazil and still doing his thing from the harder they come days.
Jimmy is a great performer.
Also got his break from Chris Blackwell as well.
Oh yeah.
You know, yeah.
But you know something? Not every artist that did make it in the earlier times turned out to be superstars. Afterwards, like Luther Vandross. It was said that when Luther Vandross went to the Apollo Theater in Harlem for auditioning and stuff, like a talent thing, some people, he didn't make it, but he didn't give up. And Luther Vandross, after a while, became a superstar.
Yeah. So was Madonna.
All right.
Madonna was turned on by about 7 different producers. What's the this young lady as well, who was turned on quite a few times, decided to start her own. Nicki Minaj as well.
When Jimmy Cliff did his first song, when he went to Beverly's,
Yes,
his first song,
he
didn't make it.
Yeah.
He went to Beverly's. People think Hurricane Atty was his first song. That wasn't his first song. He went to Beverly's with a soul music, a song called Dearest Beverly. That is the flip side of Hurricane Atty. On the black and yellow, Beverly is
Right. Miss Jamaica.
Right.
Pride and Passion.
And those came after. But when he went with the Dearest Beverly and the Chinese man listened to it, he says, no, my friend, that don't work around here. Scatting going on now. So he sent him to Derek Morgan, because Derek Morgan was doing auditioning for Beverly's at the time. And it was right there they sat, himself and Derek Morgan, and they wrote Hurricane Atty. Because that's very same year, it was 1961, that same year, Hurricane Atty was a hurricane that came back and flattened Belize. You know, so he made this song, Beware Over There, I'm Coming Over. And when I come over, I'm going to be like Hurricane Atty. And the song went, boom, #1.
James Chambers, man, known to us as Jimmy Cliff. Yeah. The Harder They Come, which helped popularize reggae across the world, they used it as their theme song, I think. Which country was that? What is country? I'll tell you in a minute, that they used as their theme song. And The Harder They Come.
I think they used a part of it in a commercial one time, I think.
Yeah. And you can get it if you really want it. Yeah. It was used as a campaign anthem.
Sitting here in limbo.
Yeah. Sandinista National Liberation in Nicaragua back in 1990. Yeah.
But that
he also released a single, Kahuna Matata. Remember that from Lion King? The Jimmy Cliff as well.
Jimmy has a long resume. Because even Many Rivers to Cross, so many different people try to sing that song.
Let's move into the modern music today. Back in the day when they had 2 radio stations in Jamaica, artists were selling thousands and thousands of units. Thousands of records being sold. And as a result of the record being sold, nomination for chart-topping songs, and artists would book promoters will book certain artists due to the airplay and due to this song. Now you have 35 radio stations in Jamaica.
Oh my God, too much.
One artist can't sell 1,000 units.
Can you imagine? And the music is reaching more people with the more radio stations.
Exactly, and more. And back then they never had all this social media and
because all these younger artists, not all of them, but most of them, all they seem to think about and sing about is sex, guns, and crime. Nothing else.
A virgin of mine, Singer D, in Canada. We were holding a vibe the other day, and he made a very interesting point. Because we hear every day how we've lost reggae music and reggae music dying, and how other people taking reggae music from us, which we hear other nationalities. We hear how the European, Germany, Japan, and everybody is taking reggae music. And when you have an artist like Gentleman,
Germany.
When he performed in Germany, he pulled out like 56 to 70,000 people
Okay.
at any given time. The UB40s, all right?
Not to
No,
mention.
my brother said, and he said that producers are producing good music. Good music is being produced in Jamaica. It's the presenters that is not presenting the music.
No, sir, I don't agree with that.
It is the selectors that select in the club that go to the radio with the same type of delivery. Why it seems that reggae music is stagnant today? Would you agree to that or disagree?
Partially, because for one, what I tell some of the youths, when you're a DJ and you go to a dance, like when you go to church, why do people go to church? They go to listen to the pastor, right?
Mm-hmm.
He presents them with a program and they will accept it or not accept it, depending on how he delivers. The same thing with the DJs. Now, what I find with a lot of these younger DJs, they are cowards, right? They just play the same song over and over and over every day, Monday to Monday, the same 20 songs, as if there are no other songs that are being made.
Scared to take chances.
Exactly. What you have to do, if you're a leader, introduce a record, present it to the people, point out the high points in the record and show them why this record is a good record. And people will accept it because you're a leader. Back in the day, in my time, when Mertone was a leader, Mertone playing Uptown. When Mertone drop a record Saturday night, or Soul Shot drop a record at Curfew Place, Mertone over Peyton Place, when they drop a record, Monday morning, the news reached downtown. Boy, Mertone drop a tune last night, Saturday night, and the next day, everybody looking for that song. Right? It's not like that no more. Everybody is scared to present a new song. I remember when Nesbeth came out to that song. Remember, I'm an old school guy. Nesbeth came out to that song named My Dream. I was in Jamaica, driving from Montego Bay, and I heard this song on the radio, on IRFM. And I called my cousin and I said, I hear this song. And he told me what it was. And I came here on another radio station and I played this song, introduced the song, and say, a good song is a good song anywhere. And I'm going to play this song. And people are looking at me like, that was in November. By the end of January, every dance hall you go in, there was My Dream.
My Dream, yeah. Big tune.
You see, so it's just too much garbage.
Yeah, but what about, Henry, and you can weigh in on this. What about not the quantity, but the quality? The quality that's going into the music these days.
That's what I'm saying. The quality is very poor. Very poor. And I mean, our artists, they are only catering to the Jamaican public. They're not taking a picture out of Bob Marley, book, Dennis Brown, Burning Spear, and all those other people. They sing songs that white people and other people can partially sing and understand, dance and sing to people like songs like that. But all it takes to make a boy drop is one phone call and all them kind of people brain splash out on the tar. That going anyway, that a song like that can't even pass the airport.
So let me ask you this, Henry, and let me change gears. Will, a Vibes Cartel, right? A lot of people, if I hear the name of Vibes Cartel, would say, boy, them turn off immediately. Which he do have some good positive songs. Now, would you give a Vibes Cartel credit in his circle to being creative in his circle? While you just mentioned that these other artists are afraid to get creative in their circle in terms of new ideas. So them going to sing over some of the songs that have been sung over 20 times already. Or a Vibes Cartel who is creative, who don't do a do-over song, who created his own in his own circle, being creative, even though his delivery might not, he might not be attracted to his delivery or his type of music, so to speak. Which the younger folks will, because this is their time, but being creative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would definitely give him his props in his zone. Yeah, in his zone, he definitely conquers that market. That's my take. I feel he conquers that market. And like anything, there's a time and place for everything.
Right.
So you're not going to have everybody that's going to love your music or care for it. But in his zone, I feel he's extremely talented.
But you also
extremely
have
creative.
You also have artists like a song like "She's Royal," that young, strong, and the old. Everybody love that song.
Right.
And
It's the market that you're catering for, because certain people is only going to be in a certain market unless they cross over to the other market, the other side. They're going to stay in that zone. They're going to stay in that zone.
But some of the artists that like Sanchez or Sanchez or some of these artists have built their career on singing of other people's tunes. Sanchez is one of them. I wouldn't say, well, Barris is very creative. Yeah, he's given his part being a good writer. Very few rendition you can find from Barris.
But you do have some new artists right now that's bringing a lot to the table. For example, like a Chronix. I feel he's bringing a lot to the table. You have a Jesse Royal. Singers like the Taurus, like you just said, Romain Virgo, Christopher Martin. I mean, they're bringing something to the table.
I would think.
Yeah, I would think they are.
Plymouth,
but you can't really complain.
What do you view?
It's hard to compare.
As a Plymouth looking in eyes, I would
I understand. But the thing is, you can't really. It's hard to compare Foundation to what it is today. You know, you understand? It's kind of hard. Cause Foundation, this is what made it. So for you to try to compare and go neck to neck, it's gonna be difficult to do that.
Dancehall music, and isn't it part?
Evolution.
Isn't it a part of reggae music? Is it part of our culture?
To clear that up, when I said dancehall music, remember earlier I named the 5 music forms coming out of the
Right.
Dancehall is a place. Dancehall music, there's no music form such as dancehall. One of the last recognized piece of work was Sean Paul, when he did the album called Dirty Work. Right. And you know what category that was recognized in? R&B and pop. Not even reggae. All right, so dancehall, I don't know. Most of what they're doing now, to me, the good ones are reggae. The other ones, I call them a gutter music. Yeah. Which is in the worst part of the gutter because it's leading the children astray and giving them the wrong message.
I agree with that.
You know? And I mean, a lot of the artists who sing some of these songs, they would not sing it to their daughters, their little daughters. You know, so why feed it to other people's children?
So again, isn't the presenters to be blamed for because
the producers
and
the presenters
because if you can produce 10 albums.
I would say that
if the presenter,
it's the presenters,
right.
I would give them more of the responsibility.
But if the producer did not produce the record, then the presenter would not have that record to present.
But you have a choice.
It's the last part for correction. It's the last step for correction.
We need to bring some sanity and some decency in the music industry because it is out of hand right now, and Jamaica music is very influential all over the world. You go, people listen to it, and it's catching on like wildfire. And all this violence and all this. You know, it's like you would think that majority of the younger artists today they're sex perverts because that's all they sing about.
But I think again, we have to. All right, let's take a look at this young lady who just 19 years old, who just came on the scene just recently. Have only 5 records. I have been nominated for Grammy, which I think she will win. Who's working on a deal with Rihanna now to collaborate with a song, and that young lady have a mission basically to deliver music globally, and she's touching the world globally, and she's not using a profanity, and she's not holding herself on stage.
Exactly,
and
she's smart.
You know.
She's smart.
And I hope she's taking good advice.
Yeah, she's smart. It's like a Chronix.
Right.
You know, when Chronix was nominated for the Grammy and I didn't give it to him because he was, I think he deserved it more than anybody else.
Someone on WhatsApp is saying that it's a hustling game with a lot of these music. This is what they're saying.
It
on WhatsApp.
becomes a hustling game.
It's
Yeah,
a
but
hustle.
all right. When you look, the thing that I've noticed, Playmate, in this business, we create, because I was hanging out with Robert Shakespeare, and I love to talk to Robert Shakespeare because these guys do music for different, Bruce Springsteen and international names, and you do have some musicians trying to get into the reggae, trying to play reggae music, who have gone to school how to learn to master the drum and the drum and bass. Well, a Jamaican musician will just grab a bass guitar and say,
it's built in.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's built in.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we people have to wait until we come with a product. And what I've noticed, again, this is my own observation. What I've noticed, Henry, is that the Japanese and the Europeans, they will realize that we're not professional in this business. And they will come in and take our product and make it professional and take it to a higher heights and make millions.
Let me tell you something. You just touch a nerve right there. I don't even know if I know the Alpha Boys School still exists, but I don't know if they have another Sister Ignatius teaching the boys the music, how to play the music. Right? But if you search the web, there is a record store in Japan. It's called Dub Store. And they advertise that they have the largest collection of reggae music in the entire world. This is Japan. Okay? Who should have that? We should preserve our great Jamaica songbook and have that. Japanese, they come to Jamaica. I used to see them comb the island all over, buying out all the old records. And I used to ask them, what the hell are you doing with it? I said, do you understand what the record is saying? No. I have some records that Japanese, even they couldn't buy it from me. And they want to take pictures of the record. I says, no, because I don't know what they're going to do with it. They probably go and copy it or get it on a tape and go reproduce it. And they have so much records. But you check Dub Store, they have the largest collection of reggae music in the world. And reggae music is owned by Jamaica. We create it. It's our thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just locking in, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, and welcome to Super JAMZ Radio 103.7 FM. A special edition of the Captain Kirk Show today brought you compliments of RBE Entertainment. We do have Playmate in the building and inspirational Brother Henry. To reiterate what you just said, Freddie McGregor told me that he went to Japan. He didn't have his backup singers. He didn't have his band, and they played his music as if he was shocked.
Exactly.
They didn't miss a beat. The Japanese did not miss a beat.
They study everything. You know, I remember I told you earlier, Sonny Bradshaw, the late Sonny Bradshaw, one of the greatest Jamaican music icons again. We hardly even, most people don't even know about him. Sonny Bradshaw showed me a magazine. This was in I don't even remember when it was. It was probably in the early 90s. And he showed me a magazine. It says, the magazine was coming out of England. And it says, on the cover of it, was a cartoon. It says, come and sip a taste of our ska, European ska. And I said, Sonny, really? That was what spurred me to launch a campaign on Richie B's show on RGR and dub it as Ska Revival. We have to revive ska because ska belongs to us. And it's the greatest Jamaican music of all time in my estimation. Right? So I'm saying to Sonny, I say, if we're not playing the ska, white people go play it for us. And they are already doing it. And we don't even know what name, so.
Who's making the money today out of reggae music, basically? Who's getting paid today?
The older artists, and they're dying. They're still on tour everywhere, and they're dying because they get so old.
Toots and the Metals, wow. Working Yellow
Yeah.
Man working.
You know, you don't see them, but they're touring. You know, Stranger Cole, that's another icon. They don't even give the guy the recognition that he should get. Stranger Cole. A stranger told me that he, in the early days, himself and B.B. Seaton from the Gaylords, and I don't remember the other artists. He told me 3 people. He says, we were the only songwriters. He says he wrote all the songs that he sing.
Let me see if I can call Keeble Drummond. I know he's ladies and gentlemen, I know he's probably trying to call us here. We're having some phone challenges here, so just bear with us. Just bear with us. I know he's probably trying to call the phone. He's been busy. We're having some phone challenges, and we're expecting a call from Keeble Drummond. He tried to call in, but I'm gonna see if we can get him on here randomly.
And when you get him, ask him about the song
Yeah.
named Be a Man.
Keeble Drummond. What was his? I think he sung. Yeah, he says he's getting a busy signal. He sung that made it chart for years. Baby Why?
Baby Why?
Baby Why? Oh, what kind of world are we living in? Who was? I think. What kind of world was? I think Morgan Heritage, Freddie McGregor, Sanchez. They redid that song over. So he should be getting royalties from these songs, But like I said, man, the music today again, and if the youth could just understand that. When I interviewed Freddie, and he was going through he said from the beginning, at an early age, when he wrote a song, he wrote a song in mind that 40 years from today, the song could generate revenue.
Mm-hmm.
He entered the business as a way to support his family. So he took it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And today you can pick up a Freddie song, A Big Ship, and play it anywhere today, and it still move people. Let me see if I can call Keeble Drummond here. I know it's Thanksgiving Day, so he probably out with his family, and but he's a good candidate to. You know what I'm kind of, he probably can't take a chance and call. Him not answering phone with no profanity.
But you know something, Captain?
Let's see if we can. We call him Keeble Drummond live on air. On this here Thanksgiving Day.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Keeble Drummond. Is this Keeble Drummond?
Yes, sir.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. We're calling you live on air from Super JAMZ Radio here on this here Thanksgiving Day. And I said to DJ Playmate, who's in the building, we're talking about the music business, and I said, let me call you. I know you're trying to call us and probably get busy signal. I said, let me call Keeble Drummond randomly, because I know a man, if you're correct, won't answer your phone with a profanity. Like some of my friends, I couldn't do this to some of my friends because when I'm done answering the phone already, I wouldn't have a job. But how are you, sir?
Hey, Captain, what's doing, man?
We're talking about the music business from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I have Playmate here in studio. Playmate?
If I can get you cleared.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the station, sir. Listening for your input,
No, Keeble Drummond from the Cables. We went on a list of the surviving group that's left in this business. Would you say the Cables is still have the original group left alive, even though you're doing your thing solo?
Yeah. We are the only original. The original that starts within the 60s, still alive.
The original group. Now, the big tune,
Baby, baby, why, oh, why? And what kind of world are we living in?
Yeah.
That, would you say that was a song that got the cables recognized globally? Because that's still a big song today.
Yeah, those are what that really recognized. Two of the biggest hits coming out of Jamaica.
Mm.
How many? The biggest hit, I should say, because they're not the only hits. Two of some of the biggest hits that come out of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. What are your views? What are your views today, Keeble Drummond? You've been through the changes, and just about a week ago, I was playing an album for me with some big tunes. What are some of the changes that you recognize in this reggae business today that have left us? In your view.
What you were saying about the recognize?
What are some of the changes that you observe in this business as the time of change? What are some of the changes that you observed?
Captain Kurt, I can't hear it too clear. I heard some sound in the back there that makes it.
All right, hold that thought. I'm gonna call you back. So see where we're having some technical difficulties. I'm gonna call you back and see if we can get this right. All right.
All right, do that, please. Yeah.
Yeah, we've having phone challenges, and
was a good person to talk to.
Yeah. You can share some.
Oh yeah.
Richard Daly from Third World, and Tinga Stewart. Also, those people were standing by to check in, but we're having some challenges with our phone system, and it's pointless. But he would have a lot to say because the original group left.
Yeah.
And I think that history, yeah. And his song, he's doing his thing solo these days, but his song, I think was they stayed on the chart for many years, not months, years.
Well, you know something, Captain Kirk, to go back to what you were saying about Gentleman and some of the other artists who are not Jamaicans, the crowds that they're pulling, singing reggae music. Today you hear some of these younger artists tell you they go on tour. Boy, I'm go on tour in New York and Miami and cark up the place. And cark up what? You go in a little restaurant that is converted to a club and maybe 150 people in there. Right? Go to a Madison Square Garden and fill that, let me see. Then you can talk to me. You know what I mean? Or pull the crowds like Gentleman or one of those artists, Lucky Dubé or one of them, Lucky Dubé or one of those artists, pull. They talk about you're an international artist. You're not going nowhere. And all you're catering to is just the Jamaican public.
Right.
The great Uri, when Uri came out to wake the town and tell the people, Uri came out big. And Uri, they took Uri to Madison Square Garden. Uri was a flop. Because what? 3/4 of the people couldn't understand a word Uri was saying.
It's ironic you say that because I've seen artists, like I tell you, I visited Downsound Studio, I visited Big Yard Studio, Jermaine Printhouse Studio, and I see artists. I record a song, and like I said, the engineer would edit that song and make it into a record, and the same artist would go on stage and say 5,000 people. I wouldn't know what to do. I've witnessed that, man. and it goes back to tell you that, like I said, a live drum and bass and a live artist who can go in and just do a tune like
night and day.
Papa Son. When these guys leave the business, man, they took a chunk of talent, a wealth of knowledge.
Well, I don't know where the music industry going today, my brother. I don't know.
So, but when you watch the Queen of Reggae perform, it's like a Luciano, like you're listening to the record.
Listen.
Like you're listening to the record, and they deliver a show.
I went to the best stage show I've ever gone to in Jamaica was at the Cactus nightclub of Portmore when it was operating. Watch the original Uniques. I mean, the original Techniques with Winston Riley, Johnny Johnson, and Pat Kelly. And let me tell you, the brothers did a sterling performance. Pat Kelly, before he died, Pat Kelly in his tuxedo, in his vest and his bow tie and everything, and kerchief in his back pocket, just like a Jerry Butler, and he just steps up to the mic and put in his piece, and he steps back and he turns his back, like making a turn, and the other guy is doing the harmony, and by the time his piece come back, he just comes up to the mic right in time and put, let me tell you, and Lloyd Parks was backing. It was the first stage show in Jamaica that I've been to where the band was playing just like you was listening to the record. Believe me, I never forget that.
Well, you do have some artists today when they perform as if they are. Mikey Spice is one of them. Real talent. I don't know if you've ever seen him perform, but you know.
No, I remember the last one I saw was Wayne Wonder.
Freddie McGregor deliver a show on stage as if he's singing on a record. Glenn Washington, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Glenn.
And speaking of Glenn Washington, on this Saturday, it's the Rachel One Love 21 year celebrating. His daughter died in the pool when she was 1 year old, and so she would have been 21 year old this Saturday. And every year, it would celebrate the life of Rachel. And out of Jamaica, Big Youth is coming in town. Master Griffiths, Glenn Washington, Sister Carol, Lady G, Lady Ann. Brigadier was supposed to be here, but I understand the unfortunate situation. Carlton Livingston and Balik. They will be performing, Everton Blender, they will be performing on Saturday at the historic Virginia Key Beach. And tickets still available at Caribbean Choice. And then those artists go on stage and they work. Man.
Big Youth.
They work, yeah.
It's Big Youth all the time.
So would Playmate go to a stage show today to watch the young generation perform? Would you?
I don't know. I don't think the interest is there, depending on who and based on the kind of work that they put on.
So you wouldn't give no present artists any props these days.
Yeah, I'm quite a couple of them, but honestly, I don't even keep up with them because of the kind of stuff that I hear. And the last time I went to a dance, I couldn't hear nothing what the speakers was saying. The thing turned up so loud that all you hear is distortion. No music, just noise. And then I said, let me listen to what the DJ is saying then. I couldn't hear what he was saying either because it's more talking than records being played. And they played 100 songs in 2 minutes, 3 lines of a song, and the next thing.
Good point.
You go to a party to dance. Back in my days, you go to a party to look at a girl. You can't do that.
Except for Reggae Fridays that's coming up. Yeah.
Exactly.
But key point you mentioned, as you mentioned earlier, that when Nesbeth came out with a big tune, and humble brother, I don't even met him. Have you ever met him? I've met him quite a few times, and he have been trying for a long time for his break, right? And as you mentioned, you were driving in Jamaica listening to a radio station, and this is how you investigated the song. And this is something that I said all the time to my radio brethren in Jamaica and globally. And this is one of the reasons why I mentioned to you that when there was 2 radio stations in Jamaica, when you had the Barry G's and the Richie B's and the Don Toppin and these guys, thousands of records were being sold, man. And now you have over 35 radio stations in Jamaica. And one of the reasons why records not being sold, like I said, you drive, just like you're driving in your car, and the disc jockey put a tune on, you were able to hear the song and hear the name of the song to investigate. Nowadays, you're riding in a vehicle and you hear a song. By the time you scratch it and say, well, who that? It done gone into another song. And the presenter don't call the name of the song.
Captain.
And they don't call the artist of the song. And if they do, you're hearing them more than the song. So you can't sell records like that.
You're not going to believe this. I was in Jamaica the other day, and I was driving from the airport, believe me, and I was listening. The radio was playing. But I thought the guy was playing a jump drive or a CD or something. I actually heard songs with the P word coming out, and I'm like, dude, is that a CD? He said, I'm like, radio? Really?
Yeah.
In Jamaica? That was the kind
Unheard of, yeah.
profanity
Yeah, unheard of,
coming out on radio. And the government allowed that to happen. So I would say the government or whoever is in the Ministry of Culture, whatever, they are just as bad as the people doing that.
Well, the broadcast commissioner, and when they were issuing these licenses out in Jamaica, now, first and foremost, the advertising dollars in Jamaica is not enough to spread across the island like that. That's the first and foremost. So the top 10 radio stations in Jamaica, when the survey come out, those top 10 radio stations that's people have been allocated advertising dollars, that's doing extremely well. And there's about 20 radio stations in Jamaica on here that you don't know about. There are guys on one radio for years and years that you know they were on here. And when they talk about the top 10 radio stations and the RJR Communication Group, which owns Hits and Fame, and you have IRFM who owns Zip, and Mellow FM is doing extremely well, thanks to Barry G. And they acquired Rhythms 96 and Hot 102 that owned by Ken Williams now. They acquired that radio station. And
Cool FM.
They are Cool FM holding their own, you know. They're holding their own. They're in a class by themselves.
Oh yeah, I played on that station.
Yeah,
times,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have
Crazy
some very
Chris
good
and
friends up there.
yeah.
Mikey
Barnett.
Stoke Love, Mikey Barnett.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are my very good friends.
One radio station that impressed me in Jamaica that's been on air for over 12 years without any disc jock on here. It's just music being played up to today.
Yeah.
Fire 105 FM that owns by Bud Stewart. That radio station is in the Observer building. If you go to the Observer building, they got on the first floor is the Observer, and on the second floor is the studio, Playmate. I have seen state-of-the-art studios. I give IRFM the props.
Okay.
State-of-the-art. But I have never seen a state-of-the-art studio like Bud Stewart Studio and Fire 105 in Kingston. What's his name? The general manager who's in charge of that. His name is I tell him he used to be at CVM TV, and he gave me a tour of Fire. It's been on here over 12 years in Jamaica right now, and it's owned by Bud Stewart. And not one disc jockey is on air on that, and they play music constantly. The quality, what the engineer did, he wrote right around Jamaica, every parish, and he would listen where he was going to fine tune. And if you listen to Fire FM in Jamaica, the quality around the island is phenomenal.
And that's very important. I tell you one of the reasons also now that you say quality, and not that I'm boasting, but when I had Playmate Sound, right, to this day, anywhere in the world, because my listeners are all over, my fans are all over, anywhere you go and you mention the name Playmate Sound, the first thing people will tell you, the quality of the sound coming out of the speakers. That was my thing, quality, because I had a technician, Ricky Khan, from Mandeville. Toots know him, one of the greatest technicians. He was trained by Thomas from Thomas Audio Lab in Vineyard Town. And Ricky would give me a guideline when he tuned the sound. And he says, this knob, don't go, just like you see we have the tape, don't go further than this. This knob, right there, no matter what. He says, the instruments are there, the meters on the amplifiers to tell you, yes, how far you're going. But he says, the greatest instruments are your two ears, what these are hearing. So, go back to that, quality.
A lot of these soundmen are right now, they just sound deaf. I mean, loud is good to them.
It's just nice.
Loud is loud.
It's just nice.
Loud is noise. You have to be able to can differentiate every instrument in music.
You remind me of Bob Clark on a Sunday and Irie.
Yeah.
Bob Clark. You ever listen to Bob Clark, Henry?
That's years ago.
He's still on. He's
I
still,
know-
yeah,
I
he's still
know
doing
him.
it. He's been there from day one.
I know him well. We used to meet up at a little club on Old Harbor Road there.
Yeah. He's still doing his thing on IRFM these days. Yeah, with Muta Baruka and on a Sunday evening. Yeah, but back to those radio stations, like I said in Jamaica, the Broadcast Commission needs to start revoke some of this.
Of course.
It's too many.
They need to.
And
It's
then
too much.
and like I said, when the survey come out, it's always in the top 10. That's you hear all the time, year after year after year.
Captain, another time I was in Jamaica, and as God be my witness, I wouldn't lie. I was at a wake. I didn't even come out of the car. I was sitting in the car listening, and this was a house, what they call in Jamaica, they call a house bar, where they just make a little part at the front of the house, because this was in a housing scheme where kids live, women live, and all that. And if you heard for the first 20 minutes, the songs that were coming out of that thing that they were playing at a wake with the adult people, young people, oh my God, you would not believe, man. I've never heard those. First I've heard those songs out of this world, the amount of profanity. And I'm like, this is where music gone to. This is where Jamaica come to.
Again, I blame the presenters because, and I think I speak for Henry and you when I say this, that not anybody can bring CD can come give and we just throw it on the ear like that.
Oh, sir.
This discussion we have radio friends globally. As once you're in the business, you know people. You know, some we agree and some we disagree. Some of my friends who I got like GT, good friend of mine, but I couldn't listen to GT because I'm just pure nice, 3 hours of nice. Good friend of mine, and we know we hang out on Big A and IRFM. We can hang out and think. I mean, and there's nothing personal. It's a good friend of mine. I mean, when he done after the radio and call me, yo, I'm in Ocho so all right, man, you know, I'm gonna be over here. We hang out. And why you my big up captain? I said, no, I'm never here, you know, because you know. I just constant nice, but that's your thing, you know. And promote hardcore dance hall. You know, he do this big event on Christmas Day and he promote hardcore dance hall music. You know what I mean?
You know,
Barry G. When I listen to a Barry G, who knows radio, educate, inform, and inspire.
Barry G's a good friend of mine. We used to play together too.
But you know, we couldn't have closed this broadcast without the quality, speaking of quality and entertainment. And to the promoters who came up with this idea, I understand, about Reggae Fridays with Elegance, it was not an overnight thing. It was a research been done, and they ironed out the kinks and brought it to the table and
It has been accepted.
throw some names up in the air and it stick.
It's been accepted.
Reggae Fridays with Elegance that kicks off on the 6th of December. Of course, Playmate and Toots. His name been calling all. I've heard his brother name. I have met him, but I've heard his name all over Fort Lauderdale and Miami. He's every time he plays a reggae on the grill, it's a full house. He delivers quality music. And of course, my man, brother, Inspirational Henry, will do the early juggler. But the reason behind this Reggae Fridays with Elegance is that due to the research that people want this quality entertainment. You work hard all week, you want to unwind, you want to go somewhere and see man dance with woman again.
Yes, and
This is
listen to a
designed with that in mind. If y'all come to the pants on your ankle and all them something, then
Wrong
that's
place.
not the place.
No. Next door.
So, Playmates will be there on the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And this is every Friday after. I understand that the brother who checked in earlier, keyboard drumming, he's scheduled to perform. We'll let you know when.
Mm-hmm.
And things of that nature.
Yeah, because you know what? There are a lot of big people out there. They want somewhere to go, but there's nowhere for them to go.
Exactly.
With the kind of music they want to hear.
Reggae Fridays.
There's nobody to play it. So now
Well,
this has been created. So
Reggae Fridays
and I'm
with
sure
Elegance.
it's gonna go forward.
We got 60 seconds to wrap this up here, Playmate. Let me thank you, my brother, for on this Thanksgiving Day. for taking time out to come share with us your wealth of knowledge. Thank all the folks who at home are listening on this Thanksgiving Day, people who have been waiting on our conversation, and hope we can do this again.
Oh, yeah.
And again, subscribe to our ongoing YouTube channel. It's Real Blessings TV, and you can see what's happening behind the scenes here. Anytime you log in. Brother Inspirational Henry, that name fits you to a T.
Inspires and informs.
My goodness, man. I love this brother. He got qualities that great human being. And not because anybody put me on TV, but it's true.
They don't make them like that no more.
Vibes Boss, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir. Another man behind the scene when we're just easy. The Vibes Boss. So again, have a wonderful day, everybody. And enjoy your family and festivities.
We will.
All right? We out the building. Join me tomorrow at noon. Super JAMZ Radio.